It's that lady at all.
Okay,
She's our girl.
Keep us in line. Let's go.
ready to go? Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call our regular council meeting of Tuesday, May 12th to order. We respectfully acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Cloud people. Unfortunately, Adam Arkin, president of the Fort Luther Curling Club, is no longer able to come to the meeting tonight, but will be postponed to another night. So with taking them off, may I have approval of the agenda as amended? Councilor Tidbury, Councilor Dorwood, all in favor? Carried. We have the minutes of the special council meeting held April 28th, 2026 for adoption. Moved by Councilor Dorwood, seconded by Councilor Texton. All in favor? Carried. We have our minutes of the regular council meeting held April 28th, 2026 for adoption. Moved by Councilor Tidbury, seconded by Councilor Texton. Any error or omissions? All in favor? Carried. So I have a presentation from our CAO. So I'm wondering if our CAO would please come up here. So tonight, we have the pleasure of recognizing Heather Nelson Smith for an incredible milestone, receiving her 20-year long service award from the Canadian Association of Municipal Administrators in recognition of her dedicated service in municipal government and management. For 2 decades, Heather has demonstrated a public service equally about hard work, integrity, and a genuine commitment to leading every community better than she found it. Wherever Heather has worked, her focus has always been on strengthening communities, improving services, and ensuring local government works with the people it serves. Here at Port Hardy, we are especially fortunate. Heather's commitment goes far beyond the job description. She mentors staff, supporting professional growth and leading by example every day. This dedication extends into the broader community through her volunteer work on boards such as the LGMA, NLI, ABC, where she gives time and expertise to causes that help make not only Port Hardy, but communities across British Columbia stronger and better. Thank you. This long service award is not simply a recognition of years served, but of the lasting impact Heather has made on colleagues, on council, and on the community as a whole. Heather, thank you so much for your unwavering dedication, your leadership, and your continued commitment to Port Hardy. We are truly fortunate to have you. Congratulations.
Is it hot?
Say nice.
Oh, look at that.
That's a award.
Would you want us to go somewhere? The photographer is there. Don't trip on the chair.
Look, I got a question.
Perfect, thank you.
Yes. Hey. One, we have Business and Rising Council action item for April 28th, information, any comments?
Gonna be empty next month, we're gonna have to fill it.
I know, maybe get an update on the work that's happening out at the beach.
Nice to see they're breaking ground.
Yeah, more than breaking ground, they broke it, now they're filling it up again.
And there'll be updates next month on what's happening downtown too, and lots of things happening around, but. All right, addition of the beer garden to 2026 Golden Days requests. So there is a recommendation that council have a special liquor license for the purpose of providing beer garden at the Golden Days Fairground, located in Parrot Park from Friday, July 17th to 19th, be approved, subject to receipt of the permit applications, the applicable fees, liquor liability insurance coverage in the amount of $5 million. Naming the district court authority as additional insured and all the requirements of per policies, CP 9.1 and CP 9.3 be matched. Counselor Titbury,
I'll make that
I'll
motion.
second that.
second by Counselor Texmore.
My only question on this was, should it also say like, and obtain a rental liquor permit, anything like that? Do we need to say that in any way?
I don't know if we need to necessarily say it, because they won't be able to have a special.
Yeah, they
They
won't
have
go up it.
Without it,
Yeah,
because usually they go hand in hand at the same time, but we could put it in there if it would make council more comfortable.
Might be an idea. So Counselor.
With the
And then
condition.
I'm sure they wouldn't be like, well, you didn't say that we needed that, but I don't think they would, just, I don't know, be missing.
all in favor?
nice to see the paperwork nice and early,
Yes.
eh?
Wouldn't that be involved?
All right, moving on to new business. We have the 8th edition of the District Connection for Information. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Very thorough, very good.
Yeah, look great.
Any other comment on it? We have our audited financial statements for the year ending December 31st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second by Counselor Titbury. Any comments? We had a great presentation by our auditors earlier this evening that made a whole and they were very thorough and very clear and any questions that we had. So, and we're in good standing. That's the most important thing too. All in favor? Carried. Under correspondence, we have from Misty Rose, member at large, Triport Parade or Triport Pride regarding an invitation to participate in the parade day. Lots of things happening.
So this will just go on the calendar that it's happening, so we can
Would she require a response? Or she gets the general invitation?
It's an invitation, so staff can follow up and advise that it's received and paid.
Okay, thank you. We have from Riley House Administrative Assistant Flock Riders Association, BC, the ORV use and local regulations for discussion. Comments? Councilor Roberts.
I'll speak to it first, but I mean, my first inclination was to refer to staff. Some, recommendation, but, in my other world that I existed in for a number of years, this came up, on a regular basis. And what I think what they're looking for is permission for off-road vehicles to come into communities to get fuel and things like that, fuel and groceries. And it's not, it's quite ordered. It's not just sort of opening things up for a free for all. But my understanding as well is that it's also part of another push to have, to establish a route, a North Island route for off-road vehicles that they can go from Camden River off-road through Gold River up into other North Island communities. And I think it would be really good for tourism, and it would just be one more thing that would be bringing people into the North Island. So, I mean, with that in mind, I would refer it to staff for a recommendation or for discussion.
I mean, I think it's a good idea, but I was thinking it would have been better if it came from like local users as opposed to like this provincial organization that's saying, hey, you guys should do this. Like, we don't know how many riders there are, the people are actually interested. Like it would be just be good if this was backed somehow by some local groups or, so that we know that there is local interest before a whole bunch of work. And like, maybe they could, with that proposal, include like proposed routes. So that it's not just like a blank, you have no idea where to start thing, but rather the local people who ride and know where they would want to ride and stuff. That, you know, for them to provide some information, so there's something to look at for doing, instead of a blank canvas.
I'm not, so, other things. I'm not 100% sure one way or the other whether it is a local association. But I mean, the point of what they're trying to do is bring people up. It's not so much to allow people who are existing, who are in the community to use the roads and things like that. It's for people coming up, be able to bring their off-road vehicles in and get gas and food and things like that. So I mean, they are focused on people from the outside coming up and being able to use services up in the valley. So I'm not sure. I know there's an active group in Canada River and then you do it, and that's where a lot of the business coming from.
Actually, that Campbell River group came here to council and did a presentation. And yes, it's exactly what you're thinking is that they want to establish a route into town to fill up with fuel. And if they knew where that route was, they could.
A few years ago, right? Maybe we could dig that back up and.
Yeah, you go over to Wasp and basically Wasp, High Creek, McNeil area, and then.
Yeah.
McNeil to Hardy, then Holberg.
Yeah, it's just a route into the gas station.
That's
so they
right,
can
yeah.
fill up.
I had thought that there was a group that had sort of happened last summer. There was a group of people that came up. And they came up into town and I think that they got permission from the RCMP, I believe, to come in town. And they stayed at hotels and they gassed up and they went off and did their own thing. So it's not unusual that there are groups that are coming up. I
Yeah.
guess they want to try to make it more official.
Yeah.
Mhm. I
It'd be good
have
if
seen
we
it.
took up those groups, like, so that.
Yeah,
I guess
it would have been great if they would have been in contact with somebody when you were here, just to let us know what you're up to. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe think we can dig up the information from before. There actually, when I read this, it's no real ask. They're not asking. They're this information.
Sort of let you know what they're up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of,
Which is really, real good, but
didn't they do some kind of a presentation at the RD too, at one time?
I
I
believe
think it
they
was that
did.
same Campbell River.
There's the community guide to the off-road vehicle access, the bylaws, and I think that's kind of.
I think so too, but
Yeah.
it's not very specific.
There are lots of people here with flag. I don't think there's any organized group.
I don't know.
No, there's people that ride, but I don't know anyone that.
They go up the gate there and
Yeah, everyone kind of burns around, but I don't know anyone that
You
take
all-
an ATV all the way to Gold River.
Bump into folks out in the bush, getting wood and things like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They may be just reaching out just to make sure that we as mayor and council are not against something like this in our community. Maybe they're saying, you know, we don't want to come and infringe on a community that says, no, we don't want you guys here at all because it's gonna cause whatever. At this particular time, I don't think they would do that, but there might be municipalities that don't want them in town. Don't want them ripping around and doing whatever. So I guess it would be kind of up to us whether or not we would be
Yeah, I don't think-
agreeable to that kind of an activity in our community.
I'd have some concerns if they were ripping around, but.
But it could happen. You never know.
Is there, like, just before we get our staff to through a bunch of work, like, is there data on, like, could these people maybe give us some data on?
Well, I think the first thing that probably should happen is, as we refer to staff, is for them to get in touch with this person.
Maybe ask them, you know, what's the intentions of sending this to us, what exactly?
Yeah.
Corporate management.
So I can provide some more context on that, thank you. So they're specifically looking for the opportunity to work with the community on developing more the bylaws and or designated access routes.
that's what I'm saying. To
Yeah.
So we refer to staff to come up with some
Some thoughts.
direction.
We can refer to staff with apology.
Yes, please. Not that they need more.
Which none of us refers to.
Sorry about this, but here you go.
Put it on your to-do list for next year.
It's on the action item report.
Yeah.
Just throw it in. Yeah.
All right, moving on, Logger Sports, regarding the 2026 Logger Sports Tournament donation requests.
We do this every year, right?
And it is actually, we do have it already in our grant and aid when we approved it, but the accountants want it on an agenda, so they know exactly that it's approved.
Motion to approve, whatever we did last year.
Thank you. Second by
Yes, that's good.
Hickory. All in favor? Carried. I have to say, because my husband happens to be involved in doing this Logger Sports tournament, and I get pulled into volunteering at times. They give out a lot of grant or a lot of bursaries to the high schools, both to Port Hardy and to Port McNeil.
It's good.
Very, very generous. And when they do the tournament, if you go out there during the tournament, you can see their board where they list all the different recipients and how much they got. Very generous.
Yeah, they raise the time.
Yeah, and this year they're giving out even more. So. And did we vote on that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have from Ryan Falk, Hardy Gardeners, regarding the Lake Brantley request to council. And so he's taking over managing and running the Hardy Gardeners Club, our community garden, and trying to make it better. I'm not sure how much we have in on grant and aid.
Finance.
Was he looking for, kind of,
Gravel for the paths.
No, he's looking for monetary value,
Yeah.
2,000.
$2,000.
And I know that, if I could just speak to my conversations with them, so one of the things that him and I had discussed was I realized that their fencing was about $500. And so when I asked him to put in for a late grant made request, I thought $500 would be reasonable, but then to ask for additional funding when the next round comes in September. And if I could just be given 1 second, I can tell you how much is left in the grant made budget.
Pressure's on.
also,
See how well I do.
So I just on this note, I staff earlier, another pending late grant requests to support, baseball.
all the baseball.
It hasn't been received by staff yet, but staff have been in discussions with the component to the pending application for early grant for program to
You don't necessarily ask them, but you.
Also,
500?
so that's council's aware.
Yeah.
Our security to get into our system is blocking me out because I'm not on a secure, I'm not on a secure connection. My recommendation based on my discussions would be to do the 500 and then for any additional costs to put in for the grant aid with their financials as per September 30th. Because my gut feeling is we're gonna get this 500 and then we're also gonna have sports teams that are gonna come forward and that's gonna eat into that. And so we do allow for that buffer. And if there's anything additional left over, maybe council could consider it later
Yeah.
towards the end of the year.
The 500.
Yeah, I'll second that.
With Council Texmo.
Are they doing any other fundraising?
That's a good question.
He's just starting to get going, and he seems a real keener,
Yeah, it's good. It's awesome.
It
They're
is.
doing-
and it's nice to know that.
I know I was talking to one of the other organizers, and this is just as an aside about this, our agenda item, and with the Port Hardy Farmers Market Association, and we were given a sizable amount of money from another organization that we've given out grants to applicants for different things, so we were gonna get into things.
That's smart, you know.
Yeah.
He also asked for money from the Port Hardy Hospital Auxiliaries, but unfortunately that doesn't come under our mandate. So we had to say no.
And so I would. I'll reach out to him.
So we still have to vote that.
We-
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Carried. We have from Naomi Key, manager, oh, wait a second. Oh, what, did I skip over that?
Committee reports.
Oh, no, committee reports, sorry, moved down. We have our draft minutes of the operational services committee meeting held April 28th for information. Any comments? We have our finance department, our April 2026 check and EFT listing report for information. Any comments? We have Naomi Heath, manager of recreation and community services. Plan H Community Connectedness Grant for After School Club. Naomi, do you want to speak to it? Or?
Yeah, I'll just mention that, council had mentioned how important it was to keep our after school club continuing for free. And we did that this year and saw a pretty big increase with the kid. Our community outreach coordinator Sarah applied for Jumpstart up to 9,000, but, didn't get the grant. So now I've applied for this one, which is up to 5,000. We'll find out I think in August if we get it.
Motion to approve the application, and if I was the decision maker, I would grant it.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Excellent. Any other comments? I would approve it too.
We have received this before.
For the Plan H, but for something else. Yeah. All in favor? Carried. We have from our CAO, Heather Nelson Smith, Hardy Gardner. Disposition of land release notice report from in-camera meeting for information. So this is a community garden and just having it officially.
Yeah, because there was never anything really in the past, right? This is. Like you went and approached it or approached the guy about it and
No, we can,
he came to you about it. I mean, okay, yeah,
we wanted to build a fence.
yeah.
And so we were able to have a big conversation. We brought it to the last in-camera meeting because it was a disposition of land. Seeing as we have advertised for it, releasing the report as well as the advertisement, which is open until next week. And then we'll be able to proceed with the lease and the judgment of council's direction based on council's direction from the in-camera meeting, and formalize that. So that going forward, they're totally legit.
Yeah.
Legal.
I'll make that motion to authorize staff to proceed with the lease agreement.
Seconded, Councilor Dorward, any comment? All in favor? Carried. We have bylaw number 1189-2026, District of Port Hardy tax rate bylaw for year 2026. For the recommendation, that bylaw number 1189-2026, District of Port Hardy tax rate bylaw for year 2026 we read for a first, second, and third time. And this motion is to set our tax rates for 2026.
I'll make a motion, but I feel like, you just have to go in blind because you can't know if these numbers are right. Can you?
Well, we verified that the numbers.
I'm like, we can't.
We're
Trusting
going
you.
by trust.
Yeah.
So how we come up with the numbers is we take how much money you want. And we take the assessments when they come in March 31st. And then we say, this is how much we have to charge per thousand. And so the math is worked out 3 different ways in order to make sure that when we actually go to run the tax notices, that it comes out to exactly what we said in the financial plan we were gonna do. So basically, this is just a mirror of the other. And I apologize that unfortunately mill rates are very difficult to actually understand. But I did just want to say that when I was looking at the different mill rates, some of them have gone down because our assessments have actually gone up.
Right.
So that also helps to spread the load. Unfortunately, when we do report, especially in things like the district connection, if your assessment went up within the average, which was 3%, and I'm not looking at Councilor Robinson.
He's staring at.
The average is 3%, so the average taxpayer will see a regular 4.9% tax increase. Unfortunately, those that went up even higher than that will see.
42%.
I consider, yes, if some went up 23 to 42%, they will see a considerable difference in their tax bill. Unfortunately, we can't manage that based on the final number, because it's nice when everybody goes up at the same rate, and then nobody actually sees a really big difference. And those ones, unfortunately, are gonna feel that way.
Sorry, Councilor Roberts. Living on
Sympathy is between what and what.
All in favor? Can somebody second?
Oh, I need a second.
all seconded.
I'll do it.
Thanks, Mike.
All in favor?
Carried. Okay, oh, pending bylaws right now, council reports. Councilor Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, my report is really short. I have been sick for the last week and a half, so I don't have anything to report.
Get better.
Yeah, yeah, I hear it's a 2-weeker.
You're not, yeah.
Thanks.
Councilor Textro.
Again, not much. I got stuck going to Cayuga again. And then full plans of going to McDonald's and that, but that got blown in. But I did manage to make it to the open house, the fire hall with the boy, and run around for as long as I could with keep his attention span, but it was nicely laid out, and I thought it was really cool how it was done, and I appreciate everyone putting the effort in to do that. Well, good job to everyone, especially Brent and the guys, and on your birthday of all times, going there, and shows your dedication, so good job.
Training day.
Yeah.
We're busy.
I bet.
Councilor Bellwood.
Yeah, I got to go to McHappy Day, and that was about the McHappiest day of my last 2 weeks. I was having so much fun. I really loved it. It was like, I was there an hour working the drive-through, so Mary Walker, she was putting all the orders in. And then the really fancy computer system they have is all these pictures of the cars that are in the lineup, and of course, it was 12 to 1 o'clock, so the busiest shift. And I had to like find the right car, which fortunately they were in order. Unless somebody disappeared, but you still have to like make sure you weren't charging. And then they recall their order and either round up or add $2, $5, $10. And you have to be fast, because people going to drive through, they are fast. So then I was talking real fast too, I'm like, I'm Councilor Janet Doran, I'm here helping open a happy day, and I'm just going to round up, $5, $10.
Should be on the radio.
So I must have said that, I don't know, about 60 times. That was pretty awesome. I got to take their money and everything, and people were awesome. It was
That's good.
really fun. So, yeah, ready to switch jobs.
You-
That was it. And then today I did, looked at with the Community Consultative Committee, we came down here and checked out all the drawings for the birthday collectible pin set that's gonna get printed shortly. So great little drawings and lots of them to choose from, and most of us agreed on the top 6, so
Wow.
to be unveiled on the 23rd.
Cool.
First one anyways, I think. Sort of one coming out at every event, I think is the plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's it for me.
Do you happen to know how much was fundraised through McHappy?
I don't, but they were like, whoa, you're doing really great. And then I did go through the drive-through today, I admit. And then they were like, it's Janet. Give me the deal. And then the area manager was there and came and said hello and thanks me. It made me feel like a celebrity. So,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
But I don't know how much of that, I know that right away they didn't know, but that's a good question to find out for, I'll find out for next.
Mhm.
Councilor Robertson.
Yeah, I was also at McHappy Day, and I have to say, Council Dorwood did all the heavy lifting and the talking. My job was to
Eating
hand over
burgers
the
in the
food.
back.
Was to hand over the food and drink as they came into the, collect their food, and it was great. I mean, a few double takes going, "What the hell are you doing there?" No old guys here. So, and then the other responsibility was to push the button that somebody has just gone through, and I did that pretty much 50% of the time. So 51%, so I passed. But anyway, it was, well, they're so well organized back there, and the staff, they were great. Anyway, they were quite remarkable.
They seem calm, so I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. No. Anyways, they're very well.
Yeah.
The Julius person who was organizing it was good. And I was also a stand-in for the mayor for the missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in the. And so there was that walk through the county. So I participated in the walk and said a few words on behalf of the mayor afterwards, but it was a more solemn occasion. And it was, but people were, it's good to see a lot of organizations bringing folks there, and schools were bringing folks there too. So it was good. People liked the idea of being together. That seemed a good play. So anyway, and Stephanie was or Edward, Stephanie. So and that, yeah, I think he's
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of things, unfortunately, I missed some of those other things that were going on. But I did, for the North Island Seniors Housing Foundation, I did have an opportunity to meet Seven Nelson, and she basically is responsible for Community Housing Transformation Center. And through their website, there was an opportunity there for grant funding. And Gordon Patterson and myself had an online talk with her, but at the end of it was, sorry, but we can't help you. But she did send us a whole pile of different other areas that we can investigate for funding. So we're gonna start working on that. I had an opportunity to go on the pitch in. I was over at Eagle View School, and one of the teachers there, Corey, he went up with, I think there were 6 and 7 students, the grade 6 and 7, and we went out and went down around here and collected garbage and whatever. But you know what? I was really surprised that there wasn't as much garbage around as what I thought there was going to be. The town seemed to be a lot cleaner than what it has been in the past. Of course, we didn't do the state quick job, but the area that we went down, you had to really work at it to get some garbage, which was really nice to see. It was really good. I was really impressed with that. Also had an opportunity to go to the bid meeting, Vancouver Island North Tourism meeting at Seven Hills. It was our AGM and season launch. And John, you were on there, but you were in. Did you get to hear a lot of what was going on in that meeting? Because it seemed like our connection wasn't working very well.
No, it wasn't.
Well, we kept looking at John. He was looking at us, but we couldn't hear him, and I don't know if he could hear us.
No.
It was kind of it was a sad, the
Yeah,
connection wasn't very good.
it was very poor.
No, okay,
I couldn't hear him,
not much, eh?
not much.
So, okay. So anyways, there was some really good discussions with regards to what's happening in the North Island this coming year. They're gonna be in the process of working on their MRDT, 5-year plan, which has to be in for next year. And there's a good opportunity for things. Obviously, this Thursday, May the 14th, they're having another meeting at Seven Hills at 10 a.m. till noon, and it's gonna be for our strategic planning session for the North Island. So that's gonna be this Thursday.
Yeah.
At Seven Hills from 10 till noon. So everybody's invited, and they're gonna look at different ways that we can probably promote ourselves in the North Island. And I think that one of the big discussions that came up was the road up to San Joe. And what's going on with that, and making sure that people, because it seems to be on the hit list now, for people to come here to the North Island, that's where they want to go. That then I know that the district was working on some signage too. you know. Make sure that you know where you're going and how you're getting there, make sure you're prepared. Cause, some people are going up there in, small sports cars and vehicles like that shouldn't be on that road and they shouldn't be trying to go, especially up to, at the far end, trying to get through all the potholes and everything with a little sports car, it's got clearance of about 6 inches. It doesn't quite work on those roads, but
That's not going home on that tilt deck.
yeah,
Truck the other day.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah, they're not prepared. And I guess the more that we can prepare them at the intersection coming in that way. And then they talked about hopefully setting up some kind of, be promoting more at our visitor information center and other areas. Is to use the people that are here that can transport you out there and back. So you can leave your vehicle in town. It'll be safe, you know, and it won't get flat tires and blowing out oil pans and whatever else. Leave it here, get a ride up there for the day and then come back or whatever. Cause I know John said that if it's organized with them, that they can pick people up and bring them back too. So we gotta promote that more because we want less vehicles on the road, right? Cause there's no place to park up there.
Are there charging stations at Winter Harbor or Bolton?
Not
Charging stations? I
No.
don't think so.
No.
Oh, it's fair question.
Yeah,
No, so I mean, you know, it's just.
That's a good idea, though. I like that. I mean, like a shuttle going all day.
Oh, yeah.
Probably fill it.
Keep the people off that road, that would be the key. But anyways, that's sort of just a little bit of an update over that. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. That's a different.
Okay, the MRDT, we had the updates and of course we had the concerns with the ferry organization. Yeah, we're working on the 5-year plan right now and like I say, this Thursday, we're gonna have a meeting down at Seven Hills. Other things that, got involved in, the seniors had a spring tea. So it was well, represented there. They had the little cucumber sandwiches and things like that and the scones and the fancy teacup we knew.
You looking for more fancy teacup?
Yeah, our fancy teacups. Yeah,
We have an unlimited supply of fancy teacups.
yeah. Other things I did, attended the Days meeting and we're trying to get things, in order there. We're talking about the stage and stuff like that. It's gonna be in a different position, this year for more viewing. It'll be actually way better than any we've had it before. I did a emergency planning meeting. I was at Aaron Gunn's meeting yesterday. And I was quite impressed with his discussion. I thought one of the things that I really liked what he did was he knew what was under his government portfolio. And anything that was provincial or local, he didn't basically, he said, go talk to those people. So I was quite impressed with that. Talking about trips, I'm doing the trips to Hallberg now. And my very first trip on Monday was kind of unique. Is one of the hikers I had in the van came from my own town. So it was kind of neat, but we had a number of Germans, we had Brits there on this trip. And talking about the brochure, I had the brochure that we got about be prepared for the trip and turn your lights on and don't leave your garbage behind and things like that. And I left it on a few of the vehicles there. So I don't know where are we gonna make a big sign there?
The sign has been ordered.
Okay.
We're just waiting for it to arrive.
Okay, but the first part, the first 30 kilometers is okay. The next going all the way to Holberg is not too bad, but after Holberg, it's not nice. Not nice at all. Okay, I'm gonna on that one. And the big thing for me that I was so proud of was the Queen getting her award.
The Queen, Rosalind.
Rosalind the Queen. I've sent some pictures, you might have seen some pictures around. The mayor had the chain of office there, and I had my fire department uniform on. It
Yeah.
was really nice, and all the cheers to Rosalind there. I think she well deserved it, and I was honored that I was part of that group. So that's me.
Thank you. So I'd like to thank all the participating classes from EcoView, from HSS, from Avalon, and Northwest School for helping keep Port Hardy beautiful and clean and going out and helping out. So it was great, and I know I was with the Northwest School, you were with
Yeah, I forgot to mention I was with that one.
EcoView, and I think Council Chipberry was with some FIS classes.
I was that high school.
Yeah, so it was great. I participated in CAI panel discussion on community safety, which was rather interesting. We see another community action initiative. I'd like to thank everybody involved in the Port Hardy Emergency Preparedness Fair, and to those who came out to learn how to be more prepared as a community and as individuals. But everybody did a real good job in performing themselves, so thank you very much. And it was all here, and nice day for it, and it's good. And I have to say, the BC Achievement Community Award being awarded to Rosalind was, I'm so glad we went down to it. It was a lovely ceremony. Every single participant that had been nominated for their award was deserving, and it was all at the Lieutenant Governor's husband. He was the one doing the presentations. Said it was all about connection and community-minded people, and so I'm so glad that we nominated Rosalind. So glad she got the award. It was very nice. And I got a really nice letter from the Lieutenant Governor today saying thank you for us going down there and nominating Rosalind, and our CAO got the staff to put together a little thank bag, a little like a mug and stuff like that, and bag, and they went to the Lieutenant Governor, to her husband, and to the CEO of BC Achievement, which is a nonprofit. And the other thing he said, CEO said in his speech, no, people need to nominate. You never know who's going to be awarded. No, it's very special. And it was a busy down and back in a very short period of time to Victoria, but it's well worth it. Right. And I went to the tea too, at the seniors, and it was very nice.
Very quick.
Yeah. Okay, under information and announcements, municipal hall is undergoing renovation still, so limited hours. But still open. May 14th, we have a short special council meeting that will be virtual, so if anyone wants to come, it will be very short at 5 o'clock. We're clean up next week. May 23rd, our 60th anniversary open house at 1:30, and then May 27th, looking at mural and wayfinding signage open house to discuss it. Well, more to come on the times and location. Right, no notice of in camera, motion to adjourn. Counselor
Whoa.
Newfield, apparently we have to have a first and second for adjournment.
Mover in a
I
second.
move her in a second.
Is it? I moved.
You move it, we second. Who do?
Who knew?
Who knew?
I thought it was only one.
I thought so too.
What?
Who did that?
Now we know.
Counselor Robertson
Right.
told me that today. I don't know if we have to vote on it.
Vote, I always say vote with your feet.
Vote with your feet.
Question.
I would say vote with your pocketbook.
I don't know any comment. No comment, no, okay. Anybody online? No?
Thanks for the use of the phone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that was.